In this tutorial, we will learn how to use Amazon Athena to write SQL query to query data files from AS3 bucket. Amazon Athena is a serverless query service that makes it easy to analyze data directly in S3 using standard SQL. It is designed to be easy to use, with no infrastructure to manage, and you pay only for the queries you run. Using Amazon Athena, we can directly analyzing large datasets in scenarios like log analysis, generating business reports, and real-time data analysis. Before we diving into the tutorial, make sure you have an active AWS account. Otherwise, you can navigate to aws.amazon.com and create an account. Log into your AWS console. On the top, search for Athena. Before we do anything, let's create a workgroup first. A workgroup is a separate environment that allows users to isolate queries for cost and access control. Each workgroup can have its own configuration, including query result locations in Amazon S3, encryption settings, and limits for query execution. This helps in organizing queries and controlling costs by setting data usage limits. Essentially, a workgroup is similar to a workspace to isolate and manage resources. In the navigation pane, under Administration, click Workgroups. Click Create Workgroup. Give your workgroup a name. I will name the workgroup Athena Tutorial. Amazon Athena supports two types of engines, Athena SQL and Apache Spark. Athena SQL is based on the Presto distributed SQL query engine, which resembles the general-purpose SQL engine and is designed for quick, ad hoc querying of data in Amazon S3. It's optimized for fast response times and automatic scaling for query execution. Users pay per query, based on the data scanned. Apache Spark, on the other hand, is used for complex data processing tasks like ETL operations, machine learning, and data analytics. It's suited for batch processing and large-scale data jobs, offering scalability and a cost model focused on compute resource usage. While Athena SQL is ideal for straightforward SQL queries, Athena for Apache Spark supports a broader range of data processing patterns, including batch and stream processing, catering to more complex data analysis needs. For this tutorial, we will be using Athena SQL to query datasets. Leave everything else as default. Click Create Workgroup. Once the workgroup is created, in the navigation pane, click on Query Editor. Change the workgroup from Primary to Athena Tutorial. The next step is to create S3 buckets to store data files and query exports. Duplicate the tab and search for S3. It is very important to keep data files and query exports in separate buckets, otherwise, Amazon Athena engine may create the table mapping incorrectly. Click Create Bucket. Choose the bucket's AWS region. Give the bucket to store your data files a name. I will name my data file bucket Tutorial Athena Data Files. Keep in mind that bucket name needs to be globally unique. Leave everything as default. Click Create Bucket. Once the bucket is created, go into the bucket. Upload a data file. You can find the link to download the sample sales data file in the description below. Amazon Athena supports a variety of data files, such as CSV, JSON, Parquet, Avro, and few others. Once your data file is uploaded, create another bucket to cache the query. I will name the bucket Tutorial Athena Query Outputs. Click Create Bucket. Go back to Amazon Athena Query Console. In this step, we need to link the S3 bucket where the query results will get cached. Click Settings. Click Manage. Click Browse S3. Choose the target S3 bucket. Click Save to save the S3 location. Now go back to Query Editor. There are two methods to create a linkage to your S3 data file bucket. One is using Athena Create Table from S3 Bucket Data Setup, which is the manual approach. The other method is using SQL, which is more flexible, integrated, faster, and is also the preferred method. And for this exercise, to create tables from my S3 data file bucket in Amazon Athena, I will be using SQL. To store a dataset from a table, we first need to create a database. To create a database, type Create Database followed by the database name. I will name my database Sales Database. Click on Run to execute the query. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Control and Enter to execute the query. Once a database is created, in the Database drop-down, select the target database. Clear the query by click on Clear. To create the sales data table from the data file in my S3 bucket, here, let me insert the SQL script. If we examine the SQL query, the Create External Table If Not Exist command creates a new external table in the sales database. The If Not Exist clause prevents an error if a table with the same name already exists, followed by the database name and table name. Keep in mind that an external table in Athena is not a table in the traditional sense, but rather a schema definition that maps to data stored in S3. Therefore, you cannot specify what columns you want to retrieve. Rather, you can only specify in a data file, from the first column, how many columns you want to extend in the mapping. For instance, from the sales data CSV file, I want to map the first 5 columns. In the Create External Table If Not Exist command, I will define the columns. Here, the column name in the Create Table statement doesn't need to match to the column name in the data file. Row Format SERD command specifies the serializer that Athena uses to read and write data in the table. In this case, we are using the OpenCSV SERD serializer. SERD Properties clause allows you to specify additional properties for the SERD command to handle a CSV file. Serialization.format sets the character used for separating entries in the output data. And field.delim sets the field delimiter, the character used to separate fields in the source data file. Stored as input format clause specifies the input format for files in the data source, and this will be a text file. Output format clause is similar, which specifies the output format. Location is the directory location where data files are stored. Finally, the Table Properties clause allows you to define table-level properties that can modify how Athena import data files. In this case, no compression engine is used in skipping the header row in row 1. Click on Run to create the sales data table. In the Table section, you should see Sales Data Table is now available for querying. Open a new query. And now we can insert a SQL select statement to retrieve data from the sales data table. This concludes the tutorial, and I hope you find this video useful. I will be releasing more videos on how to work with Amazon Athena, so don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.